Well, this is a little bit different, and that's just not just Gordon sweeping up behind me, is it? Because that would be different. And I'm holding a mallet here, so I'm probably Gary's mallet rather than Timmy's mallet. And I think, looking at the photographs I've seen of Gordon in his younger days, you were more of a mullet man than a mallet.
Mullets. Well, I think, Gary, actually looking around, I think we've almost got this carpentry lot sorted, actually. I think we've done quite a good job here.
Oh, it's easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's easy. You just measure twice, cut once, and you bang, you're in. And all this has gone up this week, hasn't it? So we had the flooring only. So when you left us last time, when we just had the flooring, and then what, 3 days we've popped this up?
3 days we've put this up, fully insulated. We've got a vapour barrier, we've got a fire door. Yeah, I think we've done a pretty good job.
Well, I think we've done a pretty good job, and if I was congratulating myself, I would congratulate myself for doing a pretty good job. And the kit's not too bad either, is it? You know, these things here, you just whack things when they're out, and I ain't got a clue what this is. Yeah, I'll put this one down. So as soon as you jump out your seat, there's somebody going to jump in it, isn't it? That's the old rules, isn't it? So let's get the kids then. So go and play Minecraft or whatever we're on at the minute. No, it's Fortnite. We know it's Fortnite. So I said Minecraft, winding them up. Right, okay, take a seat. Let's get comfortable. Oh, dear me. You ready?
Yeah.
Right, let's get going. Let's thank some people first of all. So we do this every 2 weeks, and we couldn't do it without the support of some great people. So let's bring it in. eFIXX TV is proud to bring you this show this week and again in 2 weeks' time. We do it all throughout the year, thanks to the support of the following people. We'd like to thank the good people at eFIXX and at Wago, Luden Palazzoli for their wonderful consumer unit, which we will be racing with this evening. And then what I always like to do is leave a few out. So if I go Doncaster Cables, who else would we like to thank?
Well, obviously, Lesico as well. Who
he looked at the screen.
I can see it because I'm closer. I can actually see the screen at the corner of my eye.
So thank you to those people for supporting this to bring it fortnightly to you. And that does mean that we can give away some great prizes as well.
It does all again.
But we don't start with prizes anymore, do we?
No, but we've got our new sponsor.
New sponsor?
Yeah. Rothoblast.
Rothoblast.
That's what it says on the. That's what it says on behind it. Well, actually, we don't know who Rothoblast are. It was just some.
Well, last time I had it, I couldn't sit down for a fortnight. Okay, it was a little bit tender. I would suggest.
Some ointment on it.
Yes.
So
okay.
Be sorted.
Yeah. So we've stopped going straight in for the prizes. So normally we do Gary Swap Shop. We're not going to do that now. We normally go in and we have a little subject matter. We've had your EV disaster and all sorts of stuff. So what are you going to talk about today then, Gordon?
Well, we're back somewhere. We've been, if anyone's been following the videos we've been releasing over the last week, you'll see there's we've been talking a little bit about talk. So much so, we've been talking the talk.
I love that song. Yeah, we have been talking the talk. But it didn't start there, did it really? This journey actually started where maybe we didn't realise it was going to start and where we've ended up today, isn't it? So
but it is, before we go there.
Oh, right, okay.
It is, obviously, we realise it is quite a controversial topic.
Is it? I hadn't noticed in the comments.
Oh, yeah, the comments. And we've attacked it from lots of different angles.
Okay, is your arm calibrated?
Is your arm calibrated? Do you use the impact driver?
It's one each.
On the consumer, or do you use a torque screwdriver? And people sort of...
Torque screwdriver.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's well, of course I do. I taught using them. Yes, of course I know how to use these. Yeah, when we was teaching, we were using these all the time. But yeah, it is controversial, but it does circle back, doesn't it? It circles back to a video that we made a little while ago that again was a little bit controversial as well. Should we show the thumbnail for that?
Bring the thumbnail in, yeah.
Just stop playing with me torque screwdriver. So let's bring this one in.
Yeah.
That was the video thumbnail, and okay, obviously.
Well, we asked the question: could electricians install equipment inside the meter box?
Well, they can. I can see. Look, someone clearly has. So we've challenged that electrician. He's clearly won the challenge that you said.
Yeah, and it was a little, again, that was controversial because some people said, well, it's our meter box, we can put whatever we want in there, it belongs to the customer.
La-di-da-di-da, you normally say, yes.
It went on, and it is a little bit grey because even some of the DNOs aren't clear on it. The answer that came back from the Energy Networks Association was polite. The answer we got back from some of the DNOs was absolutely not. We'll be angry, and that's played out. If you look at the comments in that video, there's some great ones there. There's some instances where electricians haven't had equipment connected because it's full.
Yeah. And that links into electrical safety first, and we brought that up, didn't we, as well?
Because in our other video. So last night, just bring in another thumbnail.
There we go. So
last night we released this video fire start, a little bit of controversial topic. You're right. And what was the essence of that electrical safety first report?
Okay, it was the essence of that report was that you could still get them in torqued to the required setting, but then what happens to the conductor when in situ? And we use the meter towers as a classic example because we know back in the day, we just brought meter towers into a consumer unit, didn't we? And we had them wherever they were and they just hung freely. But of course, there is a chance for them to move. So they solved that problem. We obviously had clamps in there, didn't we? And we started having glands but there's still a chance that we can get some movement, but maybe not in the consumer unit, but it is an option. But if we think going back towards the metering area, Gordon, there's tons of stuff in there that hasn't got a gland and isn't clamped into position that could cause us an issue, isn't there?
It is. So these two areas this week, after we put those videos out, I had some pictures sent to me.
Well, do you want to go there first?
Well, we'll start with so this was one I actually found on social media.
Okay. Yeah. So we've borrowed this photograph.
Yeah,
okay.
we borrowed this photograph.
Wow.
And I'd suggest possibly not best practice to take the meter off the wall and let it hang out the front of the meter cupboard on the tails that go between the cutout and the meter.
Okay, and I'd like to think that a conscientious electrician has taken a photograph of this and he's posted it or she's posted it because they were suggesting this was poor practice. I wouldn't suggest, I would like to think that somebody has posted that as part of their own work and we see a completed install afterwards. That would be
surprisingly enough, there was actually at the end of that a completed install. So this was an example of here's a project start to finish. You know, you see all that. Yeah, here's the meter hanging out. Here's the new consumer unit going in. Here's some new tails going in.
Okay, so how does that link back to my electrical safety first then? So we've taken that meter off the wall, we've hung it down because we want to have a bit more room in there. I think in that installation, that was the type of installation, isn't there some sort of small flats in that where the consumer unit is actually inside of the meter board?
Yeah, so well entitled to be in there, but what people have started doing is moving things around in the meter box.
Oh right, to accommodate the new stuff.
To accommodate some new stuff. So if you have a look at the next picture that was just sent in yesterday.
Okay.
So what's happened in this one, the EV installer has just nudged over the double pole isolator that's installed by the electricity supply to make room for a small consumer unit.
Okay, so do we think that might be for an EV charger or something like that? Is that what we're thinking?
EV charger or heat pump or something like that.
Something sexy.
And as a result of doing that, obviously the cable and the terminal inside the meter has worn a little bit loose.
Ooh,
and if you look in...
And you have to lean in for this. We've put a red ring for you to just give you a little bit more help.
Yeah.
That looks like the neutral might have got a tad warm.
Yeah, and it's getting warm, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so the PVC outer is starting to melt through. And that's all caused by the fact that, obviously, those terminals have been left. They've left the seal in place. So I don't know how that was all done. We'll just ignore that. And they've obviously moved it. And I imagine they're trying to dress things and pull things out of the way. And then even if they've got a torque screwdriver, on their end, the problem's actually gone back to the metering end, doesn't it?
Yeah, what's the live end? They've moved it. You could probably get those, I guess you get the caps off, you'd probably be able to move the screws, isolated one half of it, jiggle it around a bit.
Yeah, just sort of, just moved it down,
So that's example one. So this has happened. Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully we got there early enough because we've only got some melted PVC. Perhaps somebody's noticed that, maybe reading the meter. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, on back of the door with your hand. Okay, oh, that feels warm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't get worse than that though, can we?
Next slide, please.
Okay.
Does it say on the government announcements?
Oh, it's down here. I can't even see it. So here we go, bring in the next one.
So here's,
wow.
Here's another example. So in this case, someone's obviously needed to make a little bit of room to put a small consumer in for an EV charger, a couple of Henley blocks.
Oh, yes.
And to do that, they've had to move the double pole isolator towards the bottom of the enclosure.
So the double pole isolator being the bit that you've identified with the red ring round it, you're telling me that's the melted isolator that I'm trying to see there?
Yeah, that's melted isolator, and obviously it's done, it's coated everything else in there. It's a delicate shade of black.
So is the story here actually that when we start installing stuff within the actual meter box that we've got to start fitting maybe smoke or heat detectors as an early warning system? Is that what you're suggesting? Is that where we're going with this?
Yeah.
Is this talk the talk leading to that?
I think obviously the challenge is if this continues on, here's two examples. We didn't ask for these photographs. We sent these are people who've been watching this story develop. I suspect whoever sent them in does work in the metering industry to get access to that. But if this keeps happening, what did we end? We ended up with metal consumer units because smart meter installers were going in and not checking the other end of the cables.
Yeah, so let's just have that. So of course they went in, they took the meter off, and they want a bit more on the tails. Maybe it's gone up. They've just give it a little tug, and they've shunted their problem up, of which we had to solve it. But we're actually now shunting our problem down, aren't we?
Now it's coming back.
Yes,
and it's and obviously there's great installers out there do a fantastic job.
There is,
even if you are occasionally slipping something into the meter box. But when people start taking it just that little bit further, and just pushing it a little bit further, and things like that start to happen, at some point it becomes a problem, and it becomes a problem for everybody.
And the worst case scenario, we can argue on those instances. Obviously, that is a meter box on the outside of the building, but obviously, we're moving stuff around. If that starts being moved around, and maybe we're inside of the building, That looks to me like that could be, you know, the burning embers of a building they're raking over. Would you suggest?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's not a good place to be in. And as always, we're very reactive, aren't we? Obviously too late as always. A lot of the wiring regulations change when some things happen that ends tragically. You know, think about premature collapsing of the wiring system. Obviously there were certain fire fighters that perished due to the fact of entanglement, and that happened and we changed it. It wasn't early enough for them, it never will be, but obviously we're going to have a problem with those moving forward, aren't we?
What's coming out? So we're not quite finished on the subject of talk on the channel. We're almost after tonight because that's our rant of this week over. There's two things. A lot of people asked us in those videos questions about where do manufacturers get the torque settings from?
Okay, yeah.
What's the tolerance on them? Why can't they all be the same?
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be handy.
Different types of terminals and things like that.
Yeah.
So we've assembled the great and the good.
Okay, and we're going to do a ECA roundtable, aren't we?
Yeah, so 2 weeks' time we've got Shahid Khan from the ECA coming in. We've got someone from Luden coming back. We've got Ian Peacock coming back.
Okay, brilliant, yeah.
We've got somebody who investigates electrical fires.
Oh, right, wow.
Yeah, so it'd be great to do that.
So we've got what the good book says, Shahid.
Yep.
We've got what the manufacturer wants to happen,
Yeah.
and then we've got what happens when it doesn't happen.
Yes, and we've also got Stephen Lester from WeHa coming over as well to answer some questions about torque screwdrivers. Because obviously people think it's an inside job. The manufacturers are going, if we put a torque set on here, you'll sell more screwdrivers. And you know, it's there. So we don't think it's an inside job, but we'll find out. So if you have got any questions you'd like to ask the ECA, WeHa, Luden in terms of the manufacturers, and somebody who investigates this for a living, fire them in and we'll put them to them while they're here. We're not going to do it live, just in case it all gets a bit hot under the collar.
Yeah, but saying that though, when we did the last one, we never prepped anyone about the conversation we had about testing RCDs, and the video footage that you saw, okay, I might have had to trim some bits out. We had Shahid bounced his hand off his microphone on his chest. I had to cut that out, but that was how that video came out. So you got what I saw and you saw, didn't we?
Yeah.
That was just, everybody was dry into that, and we'll try and do the same again.
But fire your questions in.
Yeah,
we'll try
absolutely.
and spring one on. It's like
Absolutely.
we've had this one in off the Tinter web.
Yeah, so where does it say in BS 7671 I need a torque screwdriver is going to come out there, and all the rest of it? Is cage clamps cause us a problem? What's causing this issue? Why are you putting torque settings on? So you give us your questions, we'll pick the best ones out and we'll introduce that as we're doing that ECA round table.
It will, and that'll be fun. And one last thing that people have said. So as part of our Talk the Talk campaign,
Right, okay.
we've got this, we've got the logo behind us.
Okay, let's have a little look then. So let's have your stickers you're so proud of.
We can also get a sticker.
So how do I get one of these then, Gordon?
Next slide, please.
Okay, let's bring this back. And I think this is an overlay this time, so we're going to have to stay on this one. So we're behind it. So we're behind the sticker.
So if you want a Talk the Talk sticker, it's dead easy. Take a photograph of you using your torque screwdriver.
Okay, yeah.
And post it to your favourite social network, or that be Instagram, TikTok, or a video actually, or LinkedIn, and just tag us in with eFIXX Talk the Talk.
So that's hashtag eFIXX Talk the Talk,
as it says on
and
the screen.
it's Talk the Talk. Okay.
Talk the Talk, and we'll keep an eye on that. And first 100 people who want to do that, then we'll send them. These are a limited edition sticker, and a QR code takes you to the CPD on.
No, we've not done a CPD on Talk, have we?
As well.
Wow, that's completed the full circle. And once we've got the round table done, that will complete the circle, won't it? So we'll have all of those bases covered. There are probably more than 20 CPDs now. How do I find the CPDs, Gordon?
It's all on the. Now you can just Google eFIXX Know-How and take you straight there.
Okay, so eFIXX Know-How on there. You'll see a carousel at the top of all our latest stuff, and if you scroll down that, all the stuff that we've produced over probably the last 18 months, and we're looking to try and get 2 more every single month for this entire year, aren't we? That's our challenge, isn't it, for ourselves?
That's our challenge.
Yeah. So whether we meet it or not, but we're gonna try. Well, let's say we're going to meet it, because how many of those do we do?
What's that? CPDs?
Yeah. None. So you can guarantee there'll be 24 new ones this year, because it's Joe's problem, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Joe's problem.
And Joe should be in the comments as well, so good evening, Joe. And so talking about comments, we've got to go back and do the register.
Yes, we've had our bit of a rant tonight.
So we'll go back and do that register.
I'll just.
Have you got a drink?
I've
got one.
I've got it
Oh, I've got it out of the fridge.
I'm planning here. Right, register. Who's in? Who's
Yes.
in? Let's see. Right, we've got, obviously, it's almost like baked in on there. We've got Richard Brook from Sockets. Actually, this table's a bit wobbly, Gary. How did you fix that?
Well, let's have a look. So what it is, so you're always trying to, as an electrician, you're always trying to think outside the box. And actually, I've got to take this one from a plumber.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a plumber. And behind this wall here, we've got a waste pipe going through, but it wasn't quite the right height. So he used his initiative and found some of these handy packers. So take that one off me. Okay.
Right.
So what these are, handy packers. Got to bring myself back in.
Shim, I think we'll call them.
Shim, I like it. Okay, so if I look down here, I had a little bit of rocking table earlier on, and Splates to the rescue. So if you've got any additional little bit of packing, you're fitting a new kitchen and you've got to get one of the legs the right length.
Well, you've got a plumber in, needs to deal with the poo pipe.
So that's great.
There's a top tip for you. So we've got Richard Brook in, we've got the UK Spark.
Okay,
who we still need to sort out a date to come do the electricians.
Yeah, I've had another one tonight.
Carl Robinson, Sean the Spark. Big Ash Electric.
Big Ash is in. He will be making an appearance later on.
Yes, we've got Early Lursey in as fun, aka Mrs. Hayes.
Mrs. Hayes in. Nice to see you this evening. Well,
going on holiday next week. I think there's a special day trip out to Middlesbrough tagged onto the York trip, but you don't know. Oh, I've ruined it now, haven't I?
Back over that transporter bridge and down to the what was it?
We might get the Stockton this year. We've got Alfie Curran. And we've got Sean Dempsey, as ever. We know Sean's been commenting on those talk videos.
He loves a torque screwdriver, does Sean?
Yep, Terry Moore, the secret millionaire, Craig Gifford. Ooh, stay tuned, Craig. Billy, been with the numbers later on. C47, that's a new one.
Okay, welcome them.
C47,
yeah.
There we go. Suggest that's not their birth name, but you never know. R. Davis Electrical.
Oh, we got a little bit from him this evening. So Ryan will make an appearance on the channel as well. We've had some great fun over the last couple of days as you're looking there. We've gone in and we've been sort of binge watching some of his content and had a right laugh. So thank you, Ryan. This week's been brilliant.
I'll get rid of my DeWalt tools now.
Put them in a new bag.
Yeah. Put them in a get stolen.
No one will steal if you put them in a DeWalt bag.
We have got, hold on, I'm going whizzing through there. Mark Allenson.
Doing some great work at the moment, and we'll talk about the National Apprenticeship Week as well, and what we're doing.
Ex-Forces Electrician. We've got Crumpus, a good regular. Daddy B hasn't been here for a while, 6 weeks he said. Stuart Burt, Andy Isolate for Life.
Oh, brilliant. When I get to the college connections, I'll mention something that was inspired by Andy in there as well.
Yeah, we've got Nick Ramo. As in the full and the half Ramo. There's his
We even brought your stool over.
JB Electrical, A-Spark 1. Danny Stuart, but we've done that one. Carl Robinson done there. I think Leah Winspear, Owen, getting in there already with them. A tool guy, that seems a regular name.
Yeah, brilliant.
Orzo.
Are we nearly there?
Midfield General,
Yay!
TV.
Yes.
Who else? Anyone else sneaking on here? Greenhawk Construction, Mike at Greenhawk. Scott Thompson, Patrick McNally, Gavin Geeney.
Shall we call it quits and come back to it?
Scott Thompson, Mike Mason. Yeah, I think I've done.
Okay, all right, okay. Yeah. So that's your shout out for the time being. We might go back, especially when we're in the plug and socket, because in the plug and socket, when the show ends, it doesn't end. Effectively, we'll turn up in the green room, which is above our heads, and the bar will be there, won't it, and some lovely chairs. So when we get to that, obviously that'll be where we are, and we just go, just talk and chat, don't we? So if you stay on for the very end, we'll end the show, and then we'll go into what is the green room. So we're going to do Gary's Swap Shop now, and I'm sure especially Ash must be looking forward to this. So Gary's Swap Shop, for those who are new, and there was a few new names going through there, in order to play along, you need a keyword. I'll give you the keyword in a minute. You put the keyword in the comments, and we will pick out 2 people. And if you've picked out, you will need to send me something. Okay, and when you send me something, I send you something in return. That's how Swap Shop works. So by putting the keyword in, which I haven't told you yet, that doesn't mean you've won. It just means you're trying to be one of the 2 people picked out at the end. And what I want is either a posi or a flat tip, the one that you put in, say, the magnetic end that goes into your drill or goes into an interchangeable screwdriver. So one of those little tips. I don't mind if it's a posi, a Phillips, or a flathead. I just want one of those tiny little tips. They're pennies. Yeah, because they're quite handy to have them. So I'm sick of getting. I got a decent blank the other day. So
you get a bonus prize if you can send us the
Slim Vario.
Slim Vario, especially a PZ2.
Yeah, because to replace the one I wrecked. No. So what we're saying there is when I've got one that can go in our drill that I don't need to wreck, then obviously I won't put the Slim Vario ones in. So in order to play along, you need a keyword. keyword. So the new segment now is we're going to try. We done. Oh yeah, one of those. Yeah. So do you want to just that sort of thing? That's not quite the right thing.
Quarter inch, aren't they?
So let's come in with hand cam. That sort of thing. I want one of the tips. I don't care what it
can
is.
be destroyed.
Yeah. Preferably.
If you've ruined it in your impact driver, do it up the consumer unit, send it in. We will assess it. Please think where it's being used.
So I need a keyword. So what I'm going to try and do now is fortnightly, and it's probably not going to work, I'm going to reach out to those people on Instagram that constantly interact with us, and then I'm going to ask you to do me a favour. So the first time round, I reached out to Big Ash. Now, if anyone's watched Big Ash over the weekend, and I knew he was going away, because I rang him on Friday, had a nice long conversation before I twigged that obviously I was on the speaker, and his wife was sitting next to me.
Right.
Okay, so I apologise for ruining their romantic weekend away without the kids. We know Big Ash. But he showed a little video clip when he was away walking through a door.
Right.
He's a big lad.
Is he?
He folded himself under this door. So here he is. Let's bring Big Ash in for the keyword.
I suspect, Gary, the clue's in his name.
Yeah, Ash.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Let's bring him in.
Tree.
Yeah, big and strong.
Yeah.
Ready?
This week's keyword on Gary's Swap Shop is Dugga Dugga.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, where do we think he's from?
Oh, I think there's a definite, just a hint.
Go on then.
Yeah, a hint of the West Country.
West Country. So when you hear this,
Dugga Dugga. Dugga Dugga.
you think that's the West Country, do you?
I think there's just a hint.
Okay.
A little hint of the West Country.
So if you want to play along for Gary's Swap Shop, you put Dugga Dugga into the comments now, and we will start filtering those through. And at the end of the show, we'll call out 2 names. And if you send me in my tip that I want, I will send you out. We're gone big again. Oh, found 2 more.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it. So we're going for these Alexa. Okay. So what's up? So if you say Alexa, it's not Hey Google, is it?
No.
No, it's not Hey Google.
Or
It's Alexa.
Siri.
Siri. Yeah. So if you say Alexa and then ask it to do something like Alexa, order me a brand new car, obviously it will order you one of those. So they're up for grabs. And I've got some Tic Tacs, but I forgot to bring them over. So if I remember, put a Tic Tacs in a while.
All right, yeah, some special
Apologise.
EV blocks,
Tic Tacs. We haven't got as many as we started with, though, have we?
Yeah, you've been rattling them down your throat like, geez. It's like, you've had that many when you walk around, it's like...
Sound like a packet of Tic Tacs. So I apologise. So EV Block sent us those in to give away, and I've been eating them, and I forgot to bring them through. We've had a bit of a rush this evening. You've had a bit of a vehicle issue, haven't you?
Broken
school bus and all sorts of stuff.
Rescue small child from broken bus.
Right.
We've had a few new people. Craig Buist.
Okay, brilliant.
We've got Paul Routledge, who I'm assured is not a relative, but you never know. There's not many Routledges out there in the world.
Okay, yeah, Paul. Yeah.
If he is from the northeast, originates from the Cumbria area.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is he from Lancashire as well?
Yeah. Just upset, but yes, we've got some people tuning in there. Let's have a May Tyrell as a new one. So there you go. Love the West Country accent.
Brilliant. Let's have it again.
Dugga Dugga. Dugga Dugga.
Brilliant. Yeah, he's a good sport, isn't he?
Yeah, and so if you want to give a keyword in the future as well, there is a link in the description below for Get Involved, and that covers everything from the channel to do with sticker swaps. If you want to come along and do the challenge wall, the one that Ryan Davis has so far avoided.
Yeah. So he's had a lot of invites, Ryan Davis. Yeah, you think he'd be dreaming about us, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
you really would think he'd be dreaming about doing that race wall.
So if you want to do the challenge wall that we'll see later, we've got an absolute a gem.
Delta.
It's a jewel.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. So.
Yeah. So again, thank you very much. So if you're putting Dugga Dugga in, that's brilliant, and continue to do so. But I think it's that time in the evening where we need some news.
We do need some news. Yeah.
We need some news. Shall we go over to the great Joe Robinson?
Let's cut to the newsroom.
Electricians among the highest paid trades in the UK. Super offer from Super Rod for Super Apprentice Week. eFIXX launch another free training package to help electricians with CPD. Construction payment system condemned as outdated. Electrician accused of shoddy workmanship. This is the eFIXX news at PEN. Good evening. Business comparison site bionic.co.uk have published figures listing the top paid trades in the UK, and electricians have slid into the top 5, occupying the 5th position in the rankings. It seems that the average wage of an electrician is £35,141. To earn the highest wage as an electrician may involve a little bit of a commute for many in the trade though, as the city of Glasgow is the highest paying location for electricians in the UK. Beating electricians to the top spots are bricklayers, plasterers, carpenters and handymen. Two things. Pretty sure that should be handy person by now, and also, is that a trade? I mean, no offence to anyone who does it for a living. Work's work after all, and apparently it's better paying than sparkying. But can you get an NVQ in handymanning? Is there a trade organisation? The Honourable Society of the Most Noble Order of the Jack of all Trades? What's that, Gregory? There are handyman courses available. And there are trade associations, such as the Association of Certified Handyman Professionals. Maybe I'll just go and have a word with myself then. My apologies. All that sweet moolah pouring into electricians' pockets leads us on to our second story. This week is National Apprentice Week, and to celebrate all the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed new apprentices coming into the best trade in the world, if only the fifth highest paid, the good people at SuperRod, along with Klein Tools, are offering their professional toolkit at a brilliant price of $139.95. The kit includes VDE insulated screwdrivers, pliers, cutters, a tape measure, a spirit level, and the highly trade-rated cable tongue from SuperRod, all in a very handy Pro Tool backpack. With all that disposable income swilling around, maybe it's time to show some appreciation to the hard-working apprentice in your life by spending some of it on a new toolkit for them. Or at least just stop sending them to the stores for a half-inch long wait. Once again, the hard-working team at eFIXX have created another free training package for the electrical industry to contribute to ongoing CPD. The subject for this month is the increasingly important and weirdly divisive subject of torque and its relationship in electrical installations. Seriously though, there's just something about this subject that just triggers people. It's so strange. Even me just saying this now, I'm pretty sure there's some people limbering up their typing finger to call me an idiot. To see what all the fuss is about, head over to the Know-How tab on efixx.co.uk to access the free training package, and upon successful completion, you'll receive your CPD UK accredited certificate. For our next story, we turn to FIXX Radio and a fascinating interview by the Managing Director of Electrical Trade Association, Select. In it, he condemns the outdated but still common practice of payment retention. Initially, this practice was set up in Victorian times to try and counteract unscrupulous railway workers who would build the track until it was out of sight round a bend on a hill and then scarper with the cash they'd already been paid. The system was introduced in an attempt to prevent this from happening. Mr. Wilson condemned the practice as outdated and betraying a lack of trust in those employed to carry out work. He also stated that Select would continue to campaign against the system and recommended various ways individuals could improve the situation, including clear contracts, agreed stage payments, and building trust between contractors and clients. It does seem a bit of a mad system. Next time I go shopping, I might try withholding payment from Tesco, unless I enjoy the food that I bought from them. Our final story takes us to Leicester, where a socket was installed in an unsatisfactory location. On a local Facebook page, a disappointed homeowner posted the following comment: "I've had a cowboy in. Is there anyone from Coville that can come and sort this, please?" You see, that really is their first mistake. Just a word of consumer advice: if an electrician turns up in Spurs and a Stetson hat, that's a pretty big red flag, to be honest. Don't let them start work. LeicesterMercury.co.uk reported that the socket had been installed in an unsafe position directly below an outside tap, as you can see here, and ran with the headline, "Householder furious after shocking blunder by cowboy electrician." Interestingly though, if you look closely at the picture, you'll see the tap is very shiny and new looking, and the wall around it hasn't weathered in where the pipe has been drilled through. Also, there seems to be a large amount of brick dust below the tap and even on top of the socket. The original poster doesn't state if the cowboy installed the socket or the tap, leading us to think that possibly the tradesperson in question may have been the plumber. And that is why plumbers are only the 7th highest paid trade in the UK. I've been Joe Robinson, and this has been the news at PEN. Good night.
Brilliant. But let's unpack that, because there's some gems in there, and thank you ever so much for Joe. We always wait every week for that to drop. We all stop what we're doing, and we all gather around as we're excited, hopefully as you, to listen to the news at PEN.
News at PEN.
Salaries.
I must stress something, and there's people puzzled why Glasgow came out top. That's
on.
because they excluded London in the survey.
Because it would have skewed the
Would have skewed
numbers.
it because obviously people earn that much money in London.
Okay.
It's just like the streets are paved with gold.
Yeah, I'm
That's
sure they
the,
are. And when you get there, they're not.
Yeah, and so that was that. But yeah, interesting. So people are very angry that plasterers are further up there.
Yeah,
Which is-
absolutely.
which is-
Bricklayers, are, I mean, everybody, sort of knocks out, but bricklayers have pretty much always been number one, haven't they?
Yeah.
The ability to, well, we know ourselves, the ability to build a home for you to be in.
your own hands.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just, there's some value in that, isn't there?
Yeah,
some
and
great
if
value.
people are tuned in late. We're over here, a different set tonight because we're actually in the process of building a house.
Yes.
A complete house.
I'll bring in the long shot. So if you turn over there,
yeah.
we're over there, Gordon. So
Over
we
there.
don't have to talk any louder because the microphone's still attached to
Ah,
our
right, I
device.
was
So
gonna
we
shout
end up shouting because we're further away. So hopefully you've got the sense of scale. What are we sitting in at
We're
the
in the
moment?
kitchen.
We're in the kitchen. Oh,
We're in
would
the
you like a cup of
kitchen.
tea?
And I'm quite handy for the toilet.
Oh, right, okay, toilet's next door.
toilet's
And then
next
the other side, the camera's in the...
In the garage.
Okay, so the lounge, is that on the first floor?
Oh, I've got a bit modern, isn't it?
Okay, so we're overlooking the
Skipton Riviera.
Skipton Riviera. I love it. So that'll be a beautiful view of the back of our unit. I love it. It's
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic. And one bedroom or two?
Just the one bedroom. Garage.
Because we're having, what's the other area we're having?
It'll be the bar.
Sorry, say that again. I thought you said bar.
Bathroom.
Oh, bathroom. Okay, yeah. Is that going to have a balcony on it? Is
Yes.
it? Yeah. Okay.
So-
So hopefully up here, balcony. Invited guests. That's what we want to get to. Don't we want people to come down and enjoy the live stream live, and probably tell us when we haven't got the sound in, we've brought the wrong assets in, or the internet falls over,
Yeah.
and that'll be up there.
Yeah, but we're really doing it so we could make videos covering everything first fix and then really get stuck into things like PV, EV, battery storage.
Are we?
Yeah.
I thought it was so I could have a balcony.
No, it's not just for
Okay.
you.
So this is, let's not call it the house of the future, the house we should be living in now.
Yeah, the house everyone else lives in Europe. And we're
Yes.
just sort of catching up.
Yeah, we're
So,
miles behind. I spoke to the gentleman responsible for this, and he said it's a joke how far we are behind.
Yeah.
Absolute joke. We're not even trying.
So
That's the
we've had a
problem.
lot of fun. I mean, yes, this is our Chinese. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
really.
Yeah,
We can
it's
do
not hard,
this.
is it? It's not
No,
hard.
We can do
It's
this.
not warring, is it?
So was that some great, great
Go on,
content?
and give us the ash
And
one.
this is a brave person here.
Yeah,
he said,
very
that
brave.
tool guy, Big Ash sounds like a diesel generator starting up. Just remember we'll call him Big Ash. Because he's enormous and he'll probably
Ash.
flatten you with his hands.
Yeah.
So I
mean,
hope
you-
he takes that in the fun it was intended. But yeah, so let's just hear from, what's that keyword?
Well, I
again?
don't know. I can't remember. Let me
Let's,
find it. I'm trying to get my drink. You've just got a drink. I ain't got one.
anyone's
So
missed
Dugga
it.
Dugga. Dugga Dugga.
okay. Let's bring him in.
This week's keyword on Gary's swap shop is Dugga Dugga.
What a legend.
Yeah, it's starting up like a diesel generator. I like that. We'll have that one. There we go. And yeah, Ryan Davis is a secret plumber.
Yeah, okay. What we're rambling on, so I think it's a golden opportunity, Gordon, for people to start getting their times in for the GT.
Oh,
the Gordon
yes.
time. So
So-
that's going to come up next.
It is. So at this point of the show, we ask you to guess the time that who's doing it tonight?
It's Marcus. It's former college lecturer and good friend of mine. I haven't got many really good friends, but I class him as one of my really good friends. Do anything for the guy. Yeah, he's come up with Matt.
Yeah.
But that means we've got a bit of a rivalry,
There is a
doesn't
duel.
it?
So these two now work together.
Yeah, they do. They always worked together before, but
They
they work
did
together
work at
again.
college with Gary, so college lecturers. Are they going to be fast? So what we want to do is guess the time in minutes and seconds that Marcus completes the Electricians challenge in. Will
Yes.
he be fast or will he be slower? Bear in mind, he went off the tools, went back to college to teach people. And then suddenly
Those who
come
can
back.
do, those who can't tend to go and teach it, don't they? So that's
Yeah.
the rule, isn't it?
So it's...
And what are you going to give them if they get the time closest person?
Ooh, that's a great one tonight.
It's not
It
just
is.
a great one, it's an amazing one. Let's
It is
just
a box
let's bring
of,
the GT off. So,
Box
bring
of,
that-
box of Wago terminals. Times are coming in already.
crack it open. Look, that is...
It's like a box of sweets.
Yeah, it is a box. That is, to any electrician, that's proper dribble time, isn't it? You get that come through the post. That is proper dribble time.
It is. It is.
Nice. So you're giving those away. It makes my my Alexa order me some Wagos look quite limp, doesn't it?
That's a nice prize for that. So you just got to be there. Times are coming in.
Right, okay,
And
so
everyone's
closest
looking at the minute. People think he's going to be, well, someone said he's going to be incredibly slow. That's Ryan Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people think there's some fast times in there as well. So.
Okay, so Ryan Davis is chipping in, but yet we can't get him up here to have a go himself. Yeah, he's all talk again, is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if it was a plumbing challenge.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. Can you get your hand down the S-bend when it's blocked? Yeah, he'd be the first man on it, wouldn't he? Yeah. Anyone can get inside a skip. Yeah, he'd be in there, wouldn't
So
he?
there's plenty of times flying in there, Gary.
Are you keeping an eye on him for me, young man? Okay, so we've got somebody else off camera keeping an eye on those times as they're flying in. We know what the exact time is, but you don't know the minute. So Marcus and Matt, that's going to be a dual header. It won't be both this week. In 2 weeks' time, you'll get to see how Matt got on the challenge. But Marcus volunteered himself to go first, and he's got the confidence to go with it. Let's bring in Marcus and see how well he got on when he started doing the Electricians challenge. So let's see.
It's time for another Electricians challenge, and there's one thing we really love, it's when we get a duel. So it's my pleasure to introduce Matt and Marcus from Bardell Electrical. So, this is going to be fun, isn't it? Yeah, you should have called yourselves.
It's not going to be fun for him.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. You should have called yourself the bearded electricians.
Yeah, we should. But I don't think I kind of fall under that category yet.
You don't class that as a beard,
He's
Matt, do you?
training me.
Is that just sort of...
You've got something to look up to. Say yes.
I look up to you anyway, size of you.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. It's brown nosing already before we've even started. So you two, you worked together for quite a long time, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked together, didn't we, at the college?
Yeah.
Yeah, and decided to sort of spread our wings a bit and make a go of it, really. So,
Right. Was Gary leaving part of that process?
Well, obviously Gaz left in sort of the June, July time sort of thing, and then I think I left in the September, October time, and then you was
just after. I think it's more like midlife crisis for both of us. We're like,
right.
You know,
okay.
we want to go now and do what we love, really. So that's what we're doing.
So well, that's interesting. So you were electricians, then went into teaching.
Yeah.
How long were you teaching for? Was it?
I think I did 6 years.
Yeah.
I did 2. So
Yeah, and then thought, right, we're going to go back out as a dynamic duo.
that's the one.
That's it.
Well, which is great, which means obviously love working together until I come up here and it's who's going to be the fastest. We'll see. So you had lofty ambitions in terms of where you think you'll be on the board as well?
Yeah,
well, sort of hoping to be.
Well, no, not know where you're going to be.
Above.
Which one of you is going to be fastest?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm hoping to be above Aaron. If
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm probably going to go back to teaching.
Never mind Aaron yet. Who's going to be fastest between you two?
Oh, me. That's easy.
Yeah? Oh, well, if you're going to be fast, you can go first.
Yeah.
Let's see how he got on.
For all Marcus's bluster there with you, Gordon, he is not a very competitive guy at all.
Does that mean he's slow?
He is slow, yeah, not getting excuses in from nice and early.
Well, he's still trying to brown nose wearing his eFIXX hat there.
Yeah, and that's not the first one he's had off me either, because he left the last one on a roller coaster.
Was that Chessington World of Adventures?
Well, something similar. It was Peppa Pig World.
Well, that doesn't sound as a roller coaster, more like spinning teacups. So let's see what we're doing here.
Right, so we're out with the tape. He's brought his own tape, so that's another top tip I gave him. And I also suggested to him off camera, he needs to straighten these conductors. But he's been in a classroom with me, and he'll possibly be the first person that's ever listened to me.
Yeah, well, let's see how he gets on. Oh, hold on, we're in there. Oh, yeah, look, he goes for the straighten. There's a top tip there for him. Now, will he get back up there first time?
Okay, we got
okay.
we're on for a good time.
Looking promising.
I'm sure you just noticed, Gordon, the shorts, and you obviously noticed how cold it was in the unit when they came up to see us. But Marcus is a short wearer all year round.
Is he? He's not a seasonal wearer.
No, all year. Okay. And we can't do the old Donna Stell joke because we've used that elsewhere when people have been wearing shorts.
I've already done that. And, he's got the 5-in-1s, but doesn't seem to be using the cable stripper function there.
They're his favourite tool, and after watching the review we did on them, he nipped out and bought himself one, but 5-in-1 seems a bit misplaced.
It certainly does, yeah. If we watch that review again, seems to be. I don't know. There's a lot of space above his hat there. Could be using these. Should have brought in the old Nick Ramos step.
I wouldn't do that to a friend, but yes, he is a little bit vertically challenged. So yeah, he might have benefited from a little half Ramo maybe during this challenge. And another thing about that hat that we haven't already mentioned, but I ought to mention it, it's hiding a bit of a sunroof under there.
Oh, what, like a bit of a balding carpet, is it?
Yeah, you know what I say, don't you? If my haircut looked like that as a carpet, threadbare in places, I would certainly chuck that carpet away. And Marcus falls into that camp.
Well, and meanwhile, we've cracked on. We've finished the consumer while we were waxing lyrical about his follically challenged head, and he's in there. Seems to be. Oh, he's got the tools in again, and he still isn't using the cable stripper. There is a 1.5 and 2.5 built into there.
Yeah, the old 3-in-1s from Nipex. We're loving them.
Oh, now who's shaking there? Was that me or was that him?
I think you were joining him with a little bit of shaking. Marcus has got a little bit of a personal vibration goes on about him.
And there you go. So he's in there. He's undoing the screws on the sockets. Oh, he's putting his attention in there.
Well, concentrating, he's got to try and remember what all the letters mean.
He's giving the socket a bit of bitty. That's technique to steady his shaking hands.
Oh, he is, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're in CPCs. You know, joking aside, folks, this is unedited, so this looks like a reasonable time for
He
me.
hoodwinked us with his relaxed attitude.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah. Oh, he's back in again with that socket, giving a bit more bitty.
Yeah, that's cost him time, innit? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not recommend that for future use, folks. Hold on, he's
Well, last conductor. So this is in. So we're 2 screws away from it. Marcus is also a big fan of putting screwdrivers in his. He's just done it for me. He put them in his mouth. He is classic for that. Whenever you're out on site with him, you have to be able to speak fluent screwdriver.
right. Yeah, muffles it. Now watch this here. Now, how is he going to finish off here? So some people put the screw in and are already reaching for the stop button.
Well, it's quite high as well. That stop button, isn't it?
Oh, he is. He's gone for the. Yeah.
Oh, just got there.
So Marcus, how did you find that?
Yeah, it was all right. It was nerve-wracking.
We could tell.
Definitely more nerve-wracking
Yeah.
than I thought. The first 2 tries, it's like my hands just seized up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but on my last try, I think I sort of nailed it a little bit.
Well, if you ever get bored of electrician, you could go into painting or something. Perhaps you'd be great at stirring that tin. You just let your hand shake away there, and it'd be mixed up in no time at all. So looking at the board, okay, do you think you're above Aaron?
I do. I do believe. Yeah, I do believe I'm above Aaron, so I don't have to go back to teaching.
Would you like to pitch yourself anywhere else in there? Lee Brody, you probably know Lee Brody, do you?
I think I would like to.
Yeah, Collingwood Lee.
Yeah.
Life at a museum when he was here.
Yeah, maybe a bit sort of. I think personally around Eddie Richards sort of time. So
That's confidence for you.
Too ambitious.
That's confidence. So, Marcus Barritt, you did this in 3 minutes and 24.
Oh, nice.
Which puts you
Look at that.
3rd on the board. I'm going to have to do some rearranging here.
Above, is that Dr. Electric?
You were just 1 second above Dr.
nice.
Electric. That'll be painful for somebody.
Yeah, it will, won't it?
Great.
I think he's
effort.
going to want to come back. I'll take that.
Yeah.
No, that was fun. Yeah, just having them up. It's a bit like getting the band back together. And I think one of the comments was in there. It must have been the equivalent of when One Direction broke up when we left that college.
Yeah, I don't know, Gary. No direction.
Yeah, and I know what people are saying. There's 5 members of One Direction. There's only 4 of you. Well, actually, we had our version of Zayn because we had Richard Harvey leave and go to another establishment in Birmingham, leaving the 4 of us behind. So yes, the 4 of us. We soldiered on for a while, and then we decided to go our separate ways as well.
There you go.
But wasn't it Steps that 2 of them went off to do a duet? So we could call them the duet from Steps, and that was H. So one of them was H, and I can't remember the other. It wasn't Faye. It was the other girl. So if you know the 2 that went off from Steps and did a little duet, please leave those in the comments because we can throw that at Matt and Marcus for being the 2 from Steps.
Well, there we go.
Which one's H?
So, times on the GT.
Okay, so we're
let's just point out here.
yeah. There's a bit of a conspiracy here, I think.
The time obviously was 3:24.
Yeah.
Richard Brooke guessed 3:25. However, we think we've disqualified Richard.
Yeah, we have.
Because
We have.
He was sat next to the board the other week when he was here, so I had a sneak peek at the time there.
And you do not want to do that again, Mr. Brooks. If I see you going in with max time early and people have spotted it, you're going to see how many 1,000,001 things to do with a splate, and it won't be anything you want to see, young man. So don't do that again.
Yeah. So the winner on that was that tool guy.
That tall guy. Who won though? Who won though?
That tool guy.
Which one?
Yeah, the tool guy. Well, the one who said Ash sounds like a diesel engine.
Oh, did
when
he?
started it. Yeah, so that was the...
Oh, right, okay. So how does he get his prize?
So he just needs to go to the link below. If you go to Get Involved, you'll find a one that if you've won a prize, there's a link. Fill your address in there, and we'll send it within
28 days.
28 days.
So go in the link in the description. Go to
Get Involved.
Get Involved. From Get Involved, you go
It'll direct you to where you put your address in.
and it's a winner.
Yes.
Does he get the winner thing come up as well?
He does.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So.
It's worth doing that just to see the reaction when you win.
Well, everyone will be in there now.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
And of course, he was, so Marcus was above Aaron. Yeah, he's also above
he was.
Dr. Electric,
He
Dean
was.
Griffin, by
Well, 1 second.
1 second.
And that was Marcus's 3rd run, and his other runs, he'd let himself down a bit, and he was pretty chuffed when he done that one. He'd let himself down a bit on the other runs.
And
So-
if you would like to take part, then yeah, just again, get in touch, go to the form below, get involved.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll go there.
And just as a bit of a time balance for you, Fridays are out of the question. We don't do Fridays, do we? So unfortunately, if you wanted to make a weekend of it, you can't. What we do like to do is on the other Wednesday when we're not live. So next Wednesday would be an ideal opportunity for somebody to come up, do the race ball, spend an afternoon with us, and then go for a curry, wouldn't it, Gordon?
Yes.
Because we still go late on those Wednesdays. So if you are thinking of coming up, we're more likely to direct you to a Wednesday than any other day of the week.
Yeah, that's it.
And we've got lots of new things coming up, and I'll talk about them when we talk about National Apprenticeship Week, which we will get to. But I think it's time to get to Mr. Davis.
Oh, yeah, we've been ribbing them all night.
The old plumber.
The old plumber, secret plumber.
Yeah, so we've been dibbling around. We're always on social media. We're not on it as much as we can be because obviously we have very busy days. Ryan seems as if he's another masquerading as an electrician. He spends more time on social media creating content than he does actually doing any work, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think how successful his business could be if he spent as much time concentrating on doing work. But he had us in stitches, okay, and he had us in stitches because he had a little sleep last night and he was thinking about us. So let's see what Ryan got up to last night, shall we? So let's bring this one in.
I had quite possibly the craziest dream I've ever had in my life last night. So I became the new member of eFIXX. Yeah, I need to get off Instagram. There were 2 people in the running, myself and Keith from the office.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm Keith for the win myself.
Yeah, we can't obviously tell you lot who our new presenter's going to be, but I'm looking forward to seeing Keith next week. Are you?
Yeah, it's a great bloke, and yeah, actually watched The Office over the Christmas period.
Right, okay.
I watched the entire series, and it's just brought back Keith. Keith in accounts doesn't say much, Gary.
No, brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we love things like that, and of course we bantered it back and forward. We've obviously doctored that up slightly as well. How fantastic is that? And obviously thank you, Ryan, for that shout out. And we returned the favour on the live stream, and he has been on tonight, and hopefully he's still on.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless he's obviously gone off to an emergency link somewhere.
He is still.
Is he still? Yeah, good man.
And
So
trying to think of a character from Afterlife next time. You haven't watched Afterlife yet? That's a good Ricky Gervais thing as well. That's a recommended on that one. So yeah,
if I ever get to live
perhaps
at home.
he'll have another dream.
Okay, yeah, but brilliant. So we thank you, and we did respond. So anyone who's followed us on Instagram saw our video response, didn't we?
Yeah, you had a nasty nightmare as well.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I woke up in a cold sweat. I thought I'd offer Ryan Davis a job. Come and present with me. So yeah, all good stuff. So that's that. So we're going to slip now into the National Apprenticeship Week. I've got a little bit in my throat there. National Apprenticeship Week is this week, and lots of people are doing great stuff across social media. And this gives us an opportunity to say actually what we're going to do throughout the next 12 months. So obviously we've planned 2022 out. You know, we've planned to do 24 CPDs, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
Yeah, every other week.
Every other week.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of work that we ain't got to do.
Yeah,
So,
keep Joe busy.
Yeah, so on the back of that, we've also planned to do some other stuff involving apprentices, and we've already booked them in. So again, you've got to get in the Get Involved tab. We've already booked all the way up to November this year to get out to 12 colleges all across the country, haven't we?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, so that's going to be an interesting. Gary's going to do all the hard work on that one.
Yeah, I am. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. Yeah. I'm going out with the ECA, so I should be also accompanied by Shaid from the ECA as I go out. And we start off in early March, and we're down on the outskirts of London at Waltham Forest College. So we go down and see them, and then we start our tour around the UK. So I think I've got 3 in March to do. So it's going to be a busy March. So
busy March.
Again, get involved if you're at a college or you've got an apprentice at a college and you think they'd benefit from a visit from the eFIXX team. It's likely to be me and somebody else, so yeah, get involved by that. And when we're down there, this links to our great friend Andy at Safe Isolation for September, the Safe Isolation team. We took a bit of his spirit and determination, didn't we? And what we're going to do when we're at these colleges, as well as lots of other things. What else are we going to do?
Across the year, we've developed just a starter isolation kit, should we call it?
Okay, yes.
So it's an MCB lock-off, a padlock and a tag.
Okay, and a pouch.
And a pouch.
And a pouch.
You like a pouch.
And a pouch,
just to
yes,
keep you
and a
happy with
pouch.
a pouch.
And we're going to give a couple of them away on the way round, are we?
Yeah, so we're going to try and get rid of 3,000
Sorry?
of those.
Sounded like you said 3,000.
3,000, yeah, little safe isolation kits.
Yeah, so
for the students, just to get them into that best practice.
Absolutely, yeah, and I'm sure Andy's the same. If it does one person the right thing at the right time, and does something that means we don't end in a disastrous way, those 3,000 safe isolation kits will have been well placed. So that's one of the things we're doing around. So we expect to give all of those away as we go to each and every college. So everybody I meet at a college will get a safe isolation kit. So that's brilliant.
That's it. And Pegasus, Eddie from Pegasus has just showed up.
Oh, was he?
Yes.
All right, so welcome, Eddie. You just caught the bit we were talking about Andy from Safe for September, and Andy has been in tonight. So again, inspired by him for Safe for September, and that will be back, I'm sure. And we're going to do our bit by giving away those kits on the way round. Lots of other stuff we're going to do as well when we're in the colleges. So get involved. And we're already booked 12 in to go. Have I got a new van to go in?
We'll have a van reveal at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a new transport, so that should be good. So all it remains now is the last bit of the show before we slip into the plug and socket is to obviously do Gary's swap shop. And you've got 2 names for me. Is that right, Gordon?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments.
Yeah, well, okay.
Someone's asking, would we go to Northern Ireland? Gary would be delighted to go to Northern Ireland. Which actually we would.
Yeah, we were penciled in to go to Northern Ireland pre that thing that happened in around April 2020, wasn't it? I don't know what happened, but people tended to not go out for a while. We were penciled in to go over to Northern Ireland, weren't we?
Yeah.
To do a different kind of event. So we're not ruling anything out. We were definitely going for that. So yes, if you put it in, obviously we're more likely to be planning for the following year now, as 12 have already been taken this year. So they were gobbled up quite quickly, weren't they? Going back to it, Gordon, you're going to give me the 2 names?
2 names.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the first one was X-Forces Electrician.
X-Forces Electrician.
Yes.
Right, you've won nothing. You've won the opportunity to win something. You've got to send me one of these tips. Okay, posi, flathead, whatever you fancy sending me in the post to Lineside Studios here in Skipton, BD23 1TB. How do you find the address?
It's in the link below.
Okay, go in the link and you'll get the address. You need to send me something with a really nice letter. The best letters are always the ones that say, I'm your favourite presenter, and how much they think Gordon looks old. They're often the ones
They never get through those ones.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So
I always open the post and read it, and it's amazing how many people just...
don't like me. Yeah, so if I get that and I receive it, you must leave your address in there so I can send back the Amazon Alexa, play songs by Billy Joel. Okay, so that's that. And that's one person. Who's the next one?
The other one is Paul Routledge, actually, Gary. That's strange, isn't it? No relation. No.
Really?
Well, sorry, I didn't pick the name.
Really? Yeah, a bit of nepotism. Uncle Paul's one. So Uncle Paul, who funnily enough, he reached out to us the other week and said he could do with a little bit of smart technology. We're sending Uncle Paul, if he sends me in. Yeah. Obviously, my drill bit here at Lineside Studios. Yeah, well, you'll be able to nip it round.
Electrical. Yeah.
Yeah.
He won't be, will he?
I can't believe that. Yeah, okay. So Mr. Routledge has won it as well. So you two people, only when I receive your stuff, make sure it gets to us. Sometimes it's best to send it in a secured envelope and things like that. Make sure your name's and address in there, and I'm your favourite, and you're winners of the old Alexas. Okay. Yeah. Hey Google. Yeah, so that's all good.
Siri.
So thank you very much. Let's thank the people that make it possible. As always, we come fortnightly to you live here on YouTube, and we stream it due to the fact we've got the support from the following people. We've got the support of Luden Palazzoli.
There we go. Doncaster Cables.
We've got the support of Wago.
And Nipex.
Okay, and also we've got the support of...
Lasico.
Yeah, you got it as well.
There you
Okay,
go.
thank you very much. So this bit here, if you've joined us for the main show because you like to win prizes, you like to get a shout out, or you like the fun elements, I think back next time we're probably back with the regulation corner. Okay, so if you like all those elements, effectively your show is finished. If you want to stay on with us, Gordon's going to stare at that screen and occasionally feed me a comment, and I'll talk back at that camera as we're in what we call now the plug and socket. So thank you very much. Right then, mate.
So some good ones coming in.
Yeah,
we've also got Stuart Dubois.
Stuart Dubois.
Stuart,
so that is hang on, let's do the name. Stuart Dubois.
Stuart Dubois. I'm trying to get a pronunciation.
Wow. Well, if it's not right, I'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
What's Stuart say?
So he's got an anaerobic digester in Northern Ireland that makes electricity from grass.
Oh, right. Okay, that will link in with your grass, man. You're looking at the
Exactly.
grass,
I was in it. You were on it. I was on there straight away. So, Stuart, if you know the grass, man, that could be a great collab.
Yeah, us and the grass.
Because actually, one of our, when we originally started eFIXX, one of our inspirations for that was the Grassman.
Yeah, and so you can imagine, he comes to me, he says, I've got this thing. He says, you've got to watch it. So it's like a bloke in effectively a combine harvester type thing. Tractor. Well, no, it wasn't. It was cutting. They were doing things, weren't they?
That's an attachment.
Oh, right, okay.
Clearly, you haven't been watching.
No, well, clearly, I've got a life.
You've got your attachments, you've got to worry about your trailers.
This is what we're aiming for, Gaz.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And then you showed me how many people they had following them. merchandise. People were queuing up at their stands, weren't they, to buy Grassman things.
Yeah, I first found them. I went to a trade show at the NEC. Why I was at an agricultural trade show? Don't ask. It's not worth. It's not.
That's the same reason I was at Middlesbrough, probably.
Yeah, and the Grassman, they had this massive truck there. People were literally queuing off the stand to get merch.
To buy merch.
And obviously there was still crossover from YouTube, people buying DVDs, but people would buy a DVD of watching someone go around the farm cutting grass. But they talk about the tractors and he's got a new trail and look at that attachment. And so you're in, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I can do Clarkson's farm. I'm in there because that's just
clearly Jeremy's been watching it
in
as
the
well
Grassman.
and used that as a kernel of inspiration to do his own farm thing.
Do you think he might have a little gripe about some of the things we might have borrowed off him? We've got a race wall.
Stolen with pride.
We got the tall wall. We got the. Okay. So maybe if we go after Clarkson, he'll come after us.
Yeah. And people have an electric van. No, sadly, it's not an electric van because they can only do 60 miles. That's what we say.
Okay. We can all suggest something to make views come flooding in. No, unfortunately, it's not. We did look at it. We did toy with the idea, but considering some of them ones are going to be 180 miles from a house, and I'm going to be there at 8:30 in the morning to welcome people into the building.
Yeah.
I've got to make it realistic. Yes, once we can, we will. Trust me, we're not building this house and filling it full of those nice technologies that are going to save the planet.
We've got an EV charger outside. There's a series coming soon on that.
Is there?
Yeah.
Well, we've done EV chargers before. We've done them little 7 kilowatt ones that are dotted around.
The big ones. So put 2 22 kilowatt chargers in.
Have we?
We've dug up the car park.
We have.
We've learned some lessons.
There's some. I mean, I'm not in the first video, and it's one of those videos when you watch it back, you think that's a good video. We do one on the safe dig, something you probably don't ever consider, but we did that. And we pretty much found all our services, didn't we? They were actually where they said they were going to be.
Yeah.
There was a mystery water pipe, which is quite a funny sequence.
An absolute gem in that video when you watch it. I think we've got another couple of weeks off releasing it. But yeah, so we did the safe dig isolation, not isolation because you can't, it's the main cables covered at the building. But we detected where the 3-phase supplies were, the 2 buildings, the telephone line. We knew exactly where they were. We marked them all out with paint. I said to the builder, I think there's a water pipe going down there because the guy we rented the unit off said it comes in there. Oh yeah, but we're not going that deep. We don't have to worry about that.
No.
By mid-afternoon, we had a big pond outside, and he tried to fix it without switching it off.
Live connection, that was brilliant. So, of course, we rushed over there, didn't we? Got our phones out, he was getting covered, and we're just standing there getting fun. And if we put that out on TikTok or Instagram, it's brilliant. Just the amount of water that can go into somebody's face as we're standing there laughing at him was brilliant, wasn't it? Old cheerful Charles.
Yeah, that's it.
He was cheerful.
So Gavin said, what about a video on street lighting columns and cutouts? Which was quite funny, actually, because we went to another shop to scout out another job the other week.
Yes.
And the guys were in the car park with the bucket lift up and the old cherry picker.
We're trying to get some
shots. Gary went across to film them and they weren't happy.
No, got a Saki wave and all sorts of stuff. But isn't there somebody else out on YouTube with a bucket van that goes out and does lamp changing, I think, isn't it?
We don't know what's happened.
No. Does anyone know what's happened to
Thomas
Nagy? Because he seems to have disappeared. Not seen any content from him this year. So, maybe we can redirect that one at Thomas. Maybe he can get his bucket van out and do the cutouts and things for those. That's all good. Yeah, so our EV series, going back to that, the safe dig video, it's one of those videos, it won't do 1 million views, Gordon, I'm afraid to sound like Brighton. You're not going to go viral, but if you stumble across that video, actually it's brilliant, because it actually solves all your problems, you clearly explain what you have to do, and you give an example of how to get on the website. Good video.
Yeah, how to get the map. So it's, right.
Have we got anyone left on?
Yeah, we've got loads of people left on. So Mark's just in from Tenerife. He's asking, how is it? It's really warm in Tenerife, apparently.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is that volcano still going off? Is it?
Volcano's eased down a bit. It's really warm here now, Mark, because we've got insulation.
Yes. Yeah. Soundproofing is what we need.
And another few more weeks, it's going to be even warmer.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, all good. Yeah, so welcome, Mark. Well, Mark's been following us, I think, almost from inception. So, thank you, Mark. And we're still trying to get those plane tickets.
Yes, we'll get out there. Mike from Greenock Constructions put the digger through somebody's patio. That's always good. They were delighted.
At least he's got the skills to put it back together. It's when you do things like that and you haven't got the skills. You dig through a water pipe and you haven't got the skills. At least our builder put it back together, didn't he?
Yeah.
So that's
who's got the Bolton LX show?
Is anyone? Sorry, apologise. I thought it was
UK Spark. Okay. When is it? I don't know when it is actually.
I think is that the next one? Don't know. We did a couple, didn't we, last year?
Well, we can have a glance over. It's the right time. Just have a look at it.
Is it?
Bang in the comments when it is.
Yeah, bang it in the comments. Harrogate's pretty soon, isn't it?
I don't know, things change in that events industry, Gary. You'd be surprised.
We used to do events, didn't we? And then we started our events. We went full-time events. I think, was it April 2020, didn't we? Yeah. We all went home and sat at home.
Oh, it's on the 3rd and 4th of March.
Where
so
are
we can't make that.
Are you going to tell them where we're going?
No, we're going that week. Actually, we're at Future Build in London. We've managed to get a little stand.
Have we again?
Yes, tucked in the corner.
For poor people, we don't half get about, don't we?
Yeah.
So, What quote from what film, by the way? Quote from what film?
What's that one?
For a poor person, I do get about. Was that effect? It was. I probably haven't quite got it right. I'm as stunningly good. I'm as stunningly good looking as Leonardo DiCaprio and Titanic. It was. So for a poor person, I shall get about a bit.
Yeah, looks like you've been dragged.
Because I went. So you carry on doing that. So I went. I flew to New York to go down to Boston to take apart a machine for Cranfield University when I was there. Right. So we flew over to there, and we were flying because it was for the university. We managed to get upgraded tickets, yeah. So we were in business class. Yeah. So I sat in business class, didn't turn down an alcoholic beverage all the way there. That was back in the days. That's a different story. We can come back to that one. So I flew over there, great, brilliant. We were there, took this thing apart, plasma machine and all sorts, not blood, but yeah, brought it all back. Got on the plane. Oh, we got business class. Oh. Yeah. So we weren't guaranteed it, sitting in business class. We got delayed for 7 hours. The plane was broken. This was pre me watching lots of air crash investigators. I wouldn't have got on it, especially from New York. So we're sitting on the plane. 7 hours I was on the plane. So, yeah, crusade here. I'm gonna do as much as I can. So I was solid. Yeah. I kept going. The lady just dropped me 2 bottles at a time on the table. Yeah. I get it, and then some of the passengers are going to get off in New York and fly home on Concorde.
Yeah, right. Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. I weren't one of them.
Yeah.
So but no, I didn't want to be. Yeah. Because that's about 2.5 hours, isn't it? Yeah. How much can you drink in 2.5 hours compared to a 7.5 hour flight? So eventually we got off the plane. And we got onto another one. Okay. And the lady came up to me, and the first thing she said to me, Mr. Hayes, not only have we got a plane now that works, but the bar has been replenished, and you can continue drinking on your original drink. So she kept dropping them 2 at a time. Yeah. And when the new passengers, because we went on first, obviously we're in business class, and then of course the people in the back came on. So I used my one bit. So they come on, they're standing there, and this lady stops by me. I obviously had a few. So and she said, "Oh, it's quite nice here." And I just turned to her and said, "Well, I don't fly any other way." So I thought it was a classic. So she went back in. Oh, she went. Bless her. Ah, dear. So carry on. Next one. Comment.
There you go. Yeah, so you have a good luck when you go travelling.
Yes. Yeah, that was. You have the albatross. I had the golden jug of. I drank everything. I drank them out of port. I drank them out of Baileys. All sorts. I went everywhere. Yeah. Oh, and what was really nice is when we got on the second plane, it was breakfast time, and they brought it up and they said, "What would you like for breakfast?" And I looked, and it was a little bit of an English breakfast or a continental. And I said, "I don't really fancy either of those." And she said, "Well, we have got a fillet steak if you'd like that, Mr. Hayes." So I had red wine and fillet steak for breakfast. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, tell me.
Fantastic. Carry on.
Yeah, it's like Uncle Albert.
Right, come on, there must be something else to talk about other than my adventures in business class. I've only ever flown business class twice.
Yeah, a few people checking out. Green Hawks off.
Goodbye, thank you.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not going to confess my love for you, JB Electrical in Oxford.
Yes, so he reached out again today. Yeah. So he wants to come up. Ring me and we'll arrange a date. I'm good on Instagram. Okay. Yeah. Ring me. Yeah. I said ring me over the weekend and we'll arrange it. I'm off next week, so I'll be able to take calls next week. What's up?
I won't confess his love. I'm sure with Tesla he won't confess his love. Of course, we love him really. Well, we'll see when he comes up. We'll see what he's like.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
Some people try and avoid that challenge, Gary, don't
they? Yeah, they do. Yeah, probably because they're plumbers.
Yeah.
I can't use their impact drivers. That's a problem, isn't it? Yeah. He's in there with his power. I saw his power tools going in a different bag the other day. Yeah. Go on, so there must be something to talk about.
Yeah, so if anyone, we're on Future Build. We said yes. So Future Build is a show. It's a bit of EV. It's a bit of PV. A little bit of battery storage, things like new buildy stuff. We'll go on because we've got this, and
we're taking it with us.
No, we're not going to take it with us, but we're learning like everybody else. There's all this.
So if we had a choice, and it's no disrespect to the person who's going to Bolton because that's obviously convenient, of going to the Elect Show or where the future electrical industry is this time. We've been to a couple of Elect shows last year. I want to go to Future Build.
Yeah, so we're off to Future Build. So if anyone's in the London area, that's at XL. And that's at the 1st to the 3rd of March.
Yeah, come along, say hello.
Yeah, there's not tons of electrical stuff there,
Right.
But we're mooching around to just, we'll bring you some good stuff back. We'll find out what we find out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're going to be sniffing around those batteries is hopefully where we are.
Batteries,
I mean,
heat
yeah.
pumps,
Yeah.
plumbers fit them allegedly. But
Yeah, I know.
we'll see how different it is.
It's hard to shake them off after a while, isn't it? So it's quite ironic though, isn't it? So you think there's been a massive push for EV, I think in December, because I listened to a thing called the EV News Daily.
EV News Daily, yeah.
And that is a brilliant podcast. The bloke on that is amazing. His name is
Martin Lee.
Yeah, so Martin's on that. Listen to that as much as I can. I never listen to podcasts. He's the only podcast I listen to as a podcast. So my good friends at Other Things, I listen to their version on YouTube. Brilliant. But 30% of all new cars in the UK in December with EVs.
Yeah.
Yeah? What's happening in April?
Oh, yeah. Well,
What's happening in April?
grant for heat pumps comes in.
No.
Big grant? No.
No, what's happening in April?
I don't know.
Isn't that roving tariff for the electricity prices going to get readjusted in
Oh,
April?
yeah.
Isn't that going to sort of
Yeah.
double the price of electricity? Doesn't that feel
Yeah.
like if you're an early adopter, doesn't that feel like that's a kick in the shit? There's only one way around that, I reckon,
Yeah.
is to install an EV charger at work and bring your car along and charge it at work.
Yeah. That's what you do. That's why we're
Oh yeah, we've done that, haven't we? I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, of course, you had all that problem with your meter and the electricity price has gone up, and now you plug it in at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's actually said, if I had problems with my car, you'd want to tune into the one a few weeks ago, and you'll find out the problems I had with the car
Yeah.
when the back doors froze shut.
And
And
you
I
had to
couldn't
climb,
get the charge and lead out, and I ran out of power. So
you had
first
to
time
climb
I
over
got
the fence
range
here on the
exam.
wheelie bin.
Yeah.
Got spikes on top of the fence.
Yeah.
You had to get a lead out there. Yeah. Walk back, charge it up.
Yeah, that's an absolute epic. That was frozen this week as well. That is the problem with electric cars. And you can't just go out, turn the engine on, everything gets warm.
No.
It's yeah.
No, it's good.
If
I
you
enjoyed
haven't
that.
plugged it in the night before, it's a major problem.
What? Because the temperature drops.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay.
And the power cut in December, what a disaster that was as well. November, wasn't it? Just coming up to Christmas. Yeah. What an utter disaster that was. 2 days without power. Obviously, when you've got an electric car,
Yeah.
you've got no transport.
Just going to get out the world's smallest violin for the rest of us that are still struggling.
on the
along.
smart meter update.
Okay. Yeah. Go.
Yep.
Yep. Smart meter update.
I'll just check how many
Have we got anyone left? Does people listen to this rambling rubbish?
We've still got 94
No,
people on.
thank you very
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
On the smart meter update. So I took a little recap what happened here. So I got a smart meter installed because everyone's adverts all over.
Yeah, but
do a bit
so
of
you had
EV
economy
charging.
7.
Yeah, I had economy 7.
So you went for a smart meter that was going to be economy 7, or were you going on an agile tariff?
No, it's going to go agile. tariff.
Agile,
Yeah.
like that, bit of agile.
So, you
yeah.
know, if wind's blowing, they'll pay you to charge it on, all that
yeah,
stuff. To
all
sell
that- all
the
that old
dream
trust. Yeah,
until
yeah.
you've got one.
Yeah.
The guys came out, put the smart meter in, didn't work.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and also at the same time, they took away the economy 7. So we went on the single rate.
So they left the smart meter in, but it was done,
Yeah.
and it was single rate.
was
So you
single
couldn't do
rate.
an agile tariff.
Yeah.
Because it couldn't connect to anything.
Couldn't connect to anything. Didn't get your in-home display. You know,
Who was this with? Which one of the major electricity companies? Let's see, I'm with Eon.
Yeah, we'll
okay,
get to you.
they're quite a big one, Eon.
We'll
aren't they?
get
So
to
who
you.
are you with?
Yeah, we'll get to you.
Who were you with?
I was with Bulb. I still am with Bulb.
Bulb.
Who's now run by
who's
the
owned-
liquidator.
Yeah, I think they're owned by the government, aren't
Yeah.
they? Yeah, yeah. So you're with Bulb.
Yeah, so that started in March last year. So
Okay.
we started playing that out. I want my economy 7 meter back.
Okay,
Because the
please.
electric bill's
Did
gone
you stamp
through
your
the
feet?
roof. Well, no, that was very nice at first, and I can't remember the name of the customer services representatives, but there's been a few of them, and we're trying to escalate it, and eventually they just basically said, you're not having it back unless you pay £350 plus £120 for a new meter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't do that. So they said, well, the only option is to take it to the Energy Ombudsman,
Okay, yeah.
and that's
And
been
then it's still a man, is it? An energy
Ombudsman Services. Yes, it is. Yeah.
So it's still a man.
Yeah, you're
Cool,
right
that's a
there,
bit. Yeah, it
actually.
should be person or service, shouldn't
Yeah.
it? So you've spoke to a man, yes?
You fill in the form, send off your details, send off the reams of emails that have been flying back.
Okay.
And eventually they've ruled in my favour.
Okay, and what does that mean to you?
Well, it means they've got to come back out and put the economy 7 meter back.
And financially, they're going to make you whole again?
And they're going to compensate me for the difference in energy back to last year.
Story of the lucky fella, eh? Yeah. eh?
Well, there's been rules. They haven't
so
done it yet.
in the meantime, yeah, you're benefiting from the electricity we pour out of this building.
Yeah.
No panels on it yet.
Good point, isn't it?
Yeah, great.
I can
yeah.
double dip.
Yeah. Charge it a
dip
lot
on the
faster.
electric.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed you drifting in.
Meanwhile, I've had a breakthrough on your missing meter isolator.
Okay, yeah.
This is like Watchdog, isn't it? No, Watchdog, was that Watchdog? Was that the consumer one on?
Yeah, it was Watchdog. Yeah,
that
yeah,
Watchdog?
yeah. It was what's her name off the Weakest Link. She eventually did Watchdog, didn't she?
Did she?
Yeah, I think she did. I probably didn't.
Anne Robinson?
Anne Robinson.
She did Points of View, though, didn't she?
Did she?
Was she Watchdog as well?
Don't know. She got
Anyway,
out of it in a day.
You don't have it now.
Right, okay, we're drifting. So what about mine?
So yours, I sent the photographs. If you didn't see it on the last time, we had the old spot the difference, and I sent it off to the PR people at Eon and said we've had a concerned viewer. Didn't mention.
Oh, I'm a viewer. I'm just viewing from the inside out.
Yeah. And it's not our policy to take isolators out.
No?
Or whip
out.
a couple of metres of your meter tail while we're in there and cash it in for scrap. They said that's absolutely not their policy.
Right.
And they're going to be getting in touch with you.
Yeah, and they haven't.
And they haven't yet.
No.
So stay tuned on that.
As long as you get your compensation in your meter and then free electricity from work, that'd be great. As long as I'd stay without my isolator, it's brilliant.
Yeah, so someone is asking there with SSE at the minute, who should you change to in April? Well, our advice, and here's we've got the Money Supermarket.
Oh, Martin.
Martin
said there is no great deals. That was hilarious. Did you watch it that night?
Yeah.
He went, so they're all going to change in April. That's the best deal you can get.
You just go onto the variable tariff because it's capped.
Yeah.
If you go off, people have been phoning up and saying, "Oh, move to this tariff," which is actually more expensive.
Yeah.
Than the variable tariff.
But my auntie, I hadn't seen her for a long time. So I see her at the weekend. She'd fixed hers for 2 years just before all this happened.
Oh, right.
She's like this now. She's in her 90s.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I'm on Clover.
Does she want an EV charger fitting?
She could charge the street. So
Yeah.
She was properly chuffed. She was.
So energy prices are high. In some ways, they're actually good for the electrical industry. Which may sound a bit counteractive.
It does. You're going to have to follow that through. So high prices in electricity make everybody do what with electricity?
Invest in energy saving stuff, which means you're changing your lights, your motor drives, all those things.
Maybe putting in occupancy or PIR, simple little fixes.
Simple stuff.
Yeah, that can eventually save you electricity. I like that.
Yeah, I was speaking to my mate Alex just before the show, and he's had inquiries, some quotes. He does lighting, refurbs and retrofits and stuff like that. He had someone come back that he quoted for a job 10 years ago.
Wow. Were they hoping he was going to honour the price?
In LEDs, actually, that's probably a good thing.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, yeah, of course it is 10 years ago, yeah.
10 years ago, they were expensive. It's they were £300 a 100 now.
But based on what's happening now, he's come back and gone, that great idea I got told 10 years ago is now a brilliant idea today.
Yeah, because obviously for an industry, it's energy price, triad charges, the whole lot. So, it's painful, although it's very painful for the individual.
Yeah.
For the industry and stuff like that, obviously EV cars and stuff like that. But petrol's gone up as well, hasn't it? So
it has, and obviously we've seen that some of those large oil companies have made quite a lot of money recently, and all that's obviously chiffed everyone off. But you can see it, and you feel it, don't you?
Yeah.
The dash for electricity at the back end of last year for electric vehicles and that drive, and then by the time you get to April this year, it's doubled through in price. That is a bit of a. You don't feel like you're doing your bit then, do you? You feel like you got a bit of a kick in the shin.
Yeah.
So,
but Octopus, when I was at Octopus, they said, gas price is artificially low in this country.
Low?
Artificially.
Yeah, it's doubling through for people.
Well, if you compare electric and gas, so your electric bill's got all those green stuff in, all the stuff to pay for the wind turbines and things like that. Heaped onto the electric price. Yes. Gas hasn't had any of that. It's just had a little bit of tax, a little bit of VAT.
Okay.
So and because we used to obviously have our own gas.
We did, yeah. And tomorrow after that Indian, I'll have a bit of my own gas again, I think. So,
We've got a solution.
Don't go there. That'll be a skit coming up in the future.
Coming up, but me and Richard are working on a solution to that problem.
Yes, we are. So
we'll have to introduce Richard at some point, won't we?
Yeah, so we've got a new member of staff, and unfortunately it wasn't Ryan, it wasn't Keith. They didn't make the cut, unfortunately, even though Ryan had a compelling dream about coming to work for us. That doesn't get you through the interview process. I dreamt I was working for you, and obviously Keith was a little bit tied up with his acting career to come in and do a little bit of semi-acting with us. So we've got Richard, who...
We'll introduce him one night.
Yeah,
Richard's not at college.
It's not at college, And again, he's not going to watch this because he's at college today.
No, he's on.
Is he? I can't say now.
It's 9 o'clock now.
What a fantastic asset he's been as well in such a short space of time, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he really has. And he's added another dynamics to the team. I quite like him, so that's always a bonus compared to some of the members of the team. Yeah. Some of the members of the team you're forced to work with, and some of them you enjoy working with. Yeah. Okay. What's the ninja doing on your screen, if you don't mind me
I don't know,
asking?
it's because the chat, I've moved the chat over.
Oh, right, okay, so you're moving the chat around. Okay, that's all good.
Yeah.
So anything else in there we want to cover before we continue on? Any new people in there that we didn't see earlier on? Obviously, you just spot Richard joined us.
Leah Winspear, who was apparently in Yorkshire as well. Let's
Who's that?
earlier. Leah Winspear.
Leah.
Yes.
Leah Winspear. If you want to come along and do the Electricians Challenge, reach out to us. If you're very local, pop in. We're down on Engine Shed Lane.
Yeah.
So you can see the flag. You'll be able to see that. And if you come and find the front of us, you'll see a lot of timber at the minute this week.
A lot of timber.
Yeah, a lot of timber. We've got a brookie burner though, and we're going to try and get through some of it.
Yeah. So
looking good though, isn't it? It is looking good. Right. So just to recap then, if you've got anything, fire it in for us for the ECA. So we're having a discussion about talk. If you want one of our talk stickers that we brought up earlier on, again, you need to hashtag us in, don't you? Let's bring that in again in case people came in late. You need to, on social media, and again, Instagram's probably your best place for me to find it, but on social media, if you tag us in using your torque screwdriver, preferably in the right location, set to the right torque setting, and a screwdriver that looks like it's probably been used before, not that one you get out every time the NIC or NAPIT inspector comes around.
with you in the picture.
Yeah, we don't want your hand, we want to see you. Everyone's shy on social media.
Yeah, we like to see faces.
And you tag us in, hashtag eFIXX talk the talk. Okay, hopefully we'll find you. And we'll be able to send you out one of our limited edition stickers. So, and it's that, isn't it?
It is.
Probably it's our best poster ever. Yeah. Only one member of the team doesn't like it. Yeah. 94-year-old Stephen Hurrell doesn't like it, does he? He's not down with the kids. So he's not having that tattooed on his arm, is he? So that's all good. Yeah. All right. So, do you want to cover anything else, young man?
I'm all right, Gary. I think it's been fun.
We'd like to thank the second half. So the show ended once; it's going to end again now, and we'd like to thank the people that have stayed on for what we call the plug and socket. Eventually, it'll be above us. Eventually, hopefully, be on that balcony. We'll be able to drift back it, and then what would be nice if we've got some guests come down, people who want to come down, join us maybe for an Indian, join us for a few beverages up in there. We can all join in on the conversation, can't we? We can set some microphones up, and we can continue the chat on with some of the people that have watched the show that evening. That's the plan for 2022. Also, we're getting out to those colleges. If you want to get out, or again, reach out to us on social media, use the link below if you want to nominate your college. The chances are we'll be looking at filling 2023 now, and I've got a new vehicle to get out there. And we're also following it on with 3,000 safe isolation kits. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and we're going to end it, as we do on our live streams, with the following, isn't it?
Well, Gary, there is, just remember, no such thing as a calibrated arm.